Naira's infancy sparks again. So like basically she comes in after, basically like leaving them all to just kind of figure out what the fuck they do for at least it seems to be days, if not weeks. And then she comes back and the first thing she does, like basically everybody's like, we got shit ready. Like, Rain is just like, I got the sea ready, and then Dame is like, I got the people ready. Like, just gotta make this shit happen. And we can get the jump if we wanted to. And then, she's just like, yeah, just bring me Aemon Targaryen. Like, and she just leaves. Like, that's just, she comes in for like 2 minutes, like, give me Aemon, and just dips. So this further like just pushes back their potential advantage. I mean, to me they seem like they had first movers advantage, even though you would think theoretically like since the Greens announced the king, they should have first movers advantage. But it just seemed like the blacks, were pushing forward quicker. And if they identify some key spots, from last episodes, season 8 or episode was it episode 8 or episode 10, whatever, whichever the last episode of season 1. I think they pretty much identify like potential like confidants stuff like that, and just strong spots they could like really choke on King's Landing on very quickly. And from what we can tell, in this episode, like the blacks, the greens have also identified that and are looking to go on an offensive to prevent themselves from being completely choked out. So either way, the blacks should have a theoretical advantage, but because of hesitancy by Rhaenyra, they're kind of fucked. So yeah. So Damon takes it upon himself to be like, okay, the only way we can get this to happen is if we just follow what Rhaenyra wants. So pretty much he asks, let's get Aemon's fucking head. So I just put down, will we get Aemon and Daemon this season? I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. Don't no spoilers. No, no. I want no book spoilers in this fucking video. I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen though. So we uh we do get a moment at least where Aemon may be compromised because of what Daemon wishes in the first fucking episode. So rat catchers. Did not know what the fuck a rat catcher was, but I guess this is something that is done to capitulate to Helena the Queen. So yeah, so the rat catchers. One is named Cheese, which is just fucking incredible to me. Cheese is being requested by Aemon and the knight to basically like let's find Aemon, let's get this going. It's 38 minutes. I gotta go ahead and get this shit pushed out. So Cheese is asked to do that, and Damon's like, "Yo, Cheese, go fucking kill our guy here, Aemon." And even Cheese is like, "What? The fuck you?" So viewers are just like, "What the this guy Cheese, this fucking guy who hasn't done a single fight, has just has a mangy dog and you know fucking rat traps. That's the guy that you want to have." And we see him earlier, but it's just like that's the guy you want to throw at Aemon. Damon didn't think about that very well. I'll be honest with you, but Damon didn't have a lot of options, so he went with what he had. Aemon is small of emotion, so basically, Aemon and Cole are scheming a plan to kind of, I think it was to like take over the Black Waters, defend the Black Waters, something like that. Basically, just like scare these smaller castles into coming over to the side of good, and this side being the green. And kind of Aemon just talks about like how blinded, um, you know, his brother are by his grandfather and his mother, and how his mother's also blinded by empathy and shit like that. And Cole has always like defended the two girls he's like fucking. He just it still has a little honor in him somewhere. So he has like a real like emotional need to like try to protect them. But Eamon like doesn't give a fuck. He's just like, yo, they're fools. They're fools and they're weak. Um so yeah, Otto touches all pieces, comes in after seeing, kind of or at least thinking about Cole and his grandson making schemes, tries to like try to put that leash back on his grandson, keep him from going crazy. I think he trusts. I think he wants Eamon to be the one more than his brother, but they've all like acknowledged like they need the brother to at least be like enough for the time being. So that's where we're at this point. I just put down. I wonder if Cheese betrays here. It kind of felt weird, like in this whole like going up the castle. Like, is Cheese gonna do something crazy here? And the craziest thing that ends up happening is that like Cheese tries to pussy out and basically makes Blood the big knight like go handle the rest of it. Blood's like, no, you're gonna come with me, motherfucker, and we're gonna figure this shit out. So no real like other contention than that, but I just thought like maybe something might happen there. This chick looks like Emma in Poor Things. I believe that's Emma Stone. I believe her last name is, but um, multi Grammy winner, Emma Stone. Um, there's Emma Watson. I always get it confused. I think Emma Watson is Hermione and Emma Stone is the one with the fucking Grammy. So, um, looks like Emma Stone in Poor Things. She does the eyebrows. I think the eyebrows are what makes that pop. So, shout out Emma Stone for in Poor Things for being a very relevant character this year. Did she use her ward powers? So this, I'm gonna say all these. Did she use her ward powers? This being in reference to Helena. These niggas have no guards. This being in reference to the castle, and she really gave up Jaharis. That is in relevance to the last scene, for Helena. So, all right, 41 minutes and we probably get into the main part here. So, I don't know if I like that scene or not. I'll be honest with you. Is it impactful? Yes. Could it have been better? Yes. Yeah, it could have been better in what it tried to execute. It wants to be a very demeaning, dark, mind numbing, core shattering moment. And I think it could have been better at that. Now, listen, I spent probably 20 minutes after the episode ended just on KTT. People that have read that book, which people want to do. When people read the book, they want to give their opinion. And it's hard to like give your opinion without, shutting off like part of your brain. Like part of your brain is like, I fucking read X, Y, and Z. I have to give my opinion while having, factored in I already read this shit. So I'm not gonna say what happens when, in the book, but as I understand the book, it's like probably at least 5 to 10 times darker than what we got. Like bare minimum 5 to 10 times darker. And some people want that from understand because it's Game of Thrones is darker than what we saw here, like just a guy getting or a kid getting his head chopped off. Some people believe Game of Thrones is like the darkest show on fucking TV ever, and that feels like a little bit of like an easy way out, I guess, to some people. Oh yeah, I'm just throwing out perspectives. And then we actually get something that's way darker in the books, but we got something that's way darker in the books for a lot of deaths, and we didn't get those in this one. So this one being Game of Thrones entire universe. So that point's a little bit like weaker, like I don't think it necessarily needs to be as gory as something that you may get in the book. But what people really want is like the undertone and the tension that the way it's done in the book, what that would bring in this show. And that's like probably the most conflicting part because from what I read of what happens in the book, that would have been like at least 70% more coherent than what we got here. Because they basically take an ad lib and completely. Like what we get here, where. So you put the knife up to Helena. I think it's pretty much about the same, more or less. They find Helena and they find the kind of the place where the kids stay at, and she's there. I think that all is about the same. What we get is they're trying to demonstrate Helena picking one or the other and trying to goad her into doing it. In the way we get it in this TV show, it's provoked. Like she has a knife against her throat, like she's going to potentially die, and then she knows like they're probably going to kill both. At that point. So many people get fucked up in a situation. Many more people than have to. At least two more people than have to gets fucked up in a situation. And also, she obviously does not want to die. Like she gets up her necklace, which I think she does that because it's clear like they're doing this for gold. Like I think Blade even mentions like right before, like we need the head for the cash, and not cash, but we need the head for whatever we need the head for, money. And that's I think it's when she mentions the necklace. I don't think it's just because she's scared of like dying, but I think it's specifically because her necklace has value. Um, and that obviously is not enough for them, but Helena's just doing whatever she can. She's a very young and naive person, so um, the thing is like they have to do something to like provoke her to choose, and in this, it pretty much is just like just choose. Like I'm asking you a question, like you got to choose one or to kill both, which is a motivator, a valid motivator. I think with how like fucking nasty they get with the version in the book, with how fucked up that version is, I think it's even like that's just a home run motivator. Like these are terrible people, and I think this goes to another thing. Blood and Cheese don't look like the fucking worst people like I think they're supposed to be depicted in the book. Like they're supposed to be like still fucking idiots, but like idiots who are like fucking savages. Like they may not be smart, but they're like brutes. Here, I mean, they're still like bickering in a comedic way. Like, really, I think even in a discussion with Allison, like, it's still a little bit of fucking bickering, but like, it's not complete. Like, these are like ravages, fucking like nasty motherfuckers, like people you don't want anywhere near anybody. Um, when money's on the line, almost like fucking rats. I don't know if that gets conveyed the same way without the dialogue that I imagine, put into the fucking book version based on what I understand happens. So I think it's only a conflicting thing. Like the only thing I think could be improved is that they could have just done better with goading Allison or Helena into doing what she needs to do, and which is pick one of the two. Also, the pick scene is kind of weird because based on the way the camera is shot on her finger, like I kind of feel like she's pointing towards like the closer person to her, which is I think a girl. I think it's a girl. Um, but it turns out, and even the like Blood's dialogue is like, is she like trying to bait me? Like, so like she's pointing towards because he asked like it's the opposite, like it's the other one, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's like she's pointing towards the one closer to her to try to throw off Blood, but really what it is that she's pointing towards Jaharis, and Blood is like, no, like the fake one. He's the fake one because she wouldn't dare like pick the fake one or the real one first. And there's this moment where like Cheese stares like into Helena's eyes, like just like into her soul, and it's like, no, she's telling the truth. And I don't know if it's gonna come back up later. Like I don't know if it's gonna matter later. Like maybe Cheese has something where he can like just kind of identify the truth easier. I mean, like you have people who are shitty people like this, like people that who probably lie, cheat, and steal, and do anything just for an honest dollar. Um, yeah, maybe it doesn't mean much to like for them to read a liar, especially someone who's as naive and innocent as she is. But for a moment in my head, I was like, is she warging? Because like, there's some breadcrumbs that like this person has powers, right? And it could, honest to God, be a thing where she unknowingly picked the kid she did because something in the future or some influence sort of like you need this to happen to execute a certain future. So it might have been something of her control, which makes sense because like the way she acts is even more erratic than normal, which I guess you would expect with her being like held up at a knife point. But like her only line, I think, is like they killed the boy, I think, something like that to Allison, and it's just like she's clearly like at a point where like there's something more under this person that like we have not gotten whatsoever. And I think she'll be the more interesting characters as we kind of get to the middle part of this season because the rat shit, like as I understand, is supposed to be like very important in this, and it gets mentioned multiple times in this episode. And I think it's still gonna be important going forward. So the rat thing, the tunnel thing, people just coming in and killing, one of the potential heirs of their own, all this stuff matters, So we're gonna see like to what degree. I'm gonna go ahead and close out here. I mean, you can't get everything right, but like this review has almost been as long as the fucking episode. So I'm trying to cut down a few moments. If there's any background noise, anything like that that you'd like want me to clear out, just let me know. I mean, it's Or I didn't clear. I didn't catch it. That was fucking. Let me see what time it is. It's 10:27 p.m. I gotta work tomorrow. I get up at fucking like 7 or some shit like that. I usually like to play a little bit of basketball, get some energy going. But I don't know what I'll be doing at this time. I think I'll be sleeping in, thinking about this beautiful fucking episode. Hopefully, get this edited tonight. I can put it up tomorrow, and we can just keep it moving. So that's it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.